Hello, TOEFL students. Today, we are going to look at Skill 3 for Part A of the listening section of the TOEFL test. The three most important skills for Part A are focus on the second speaker, choose answers with synonyms, and avoid similar sounds. So today we're looking at skill 3, avoid similar sounds. Often the wrong answers in the short dialogues are answers that contain words with similar sounds but very different meanings from what you hear on the recording. So you should definitely avoid these answers. They are there to trick you. For skill 3, you need to identify words in the answer that contain similar sounds to the key words in the last line of the dialogue. And then you do not choose these answers. Let's listen to an example.
Why couldn't Mark come with us?
He was searching for a new apartment.
What does the woman say about Mark?
One key word from the second speaker is the word searching. Do you see any words that contain similar sounds to searching? In the answers, we can see research and church. These both have similar sounds to searching, but they have very different meanings. There's also a keyword apartment. And if we look at the answers, we can see department and appointment. These two sound very similar to apartment, but have very different meanings. So now, when we look at the answers, we can clearly see the words with similar sounds that are there to trick us. So we will avoid these answers. The answer here is boy. Let's look at a few more examples. So first, we'll need to find the keywords in the second line. Here, the second line is, but Sally doesn't have a cent. So our keyword is cent. Now let's look at the answers. Are there any words with similar sounds to cent? Yes, we can see sense, scent, and set all sound very similar to scent. So if we avoid these three answers, that leaves us with cat. Sally has no money, and that also matches the meaning of the second speaker's line. So this is our answer. In this example, the second speaker says, "You should call the porter to get the suitcases." So our two key words here are porter and suitcases. Do you see any words in the answers that sound similar to porter? There's important and portable. Those both sound similar to porter. Now let's look for suitcases. Well, the word suitcases is in two answers, and then there's also the word suit. So if we avoid these similar sounds, we're left with answer boy. In this example, The second line is no, they lacked the money. So our key word here is lacked. Let's look in the answers for similar sounds. We can see locked, looked, and leaked. These all sound very similar to lacked, but they all have different meanings. So we should avoid these similar sounds. That leaves us with dog. They didn't have enough money to buy another car. This answer does not have any similar sounds, and it matches the meaning of the second speaker. So this is our answer. The interesting part about skill 3 is that you can use this skill even before you listen to the audio. You can look through these answers and see if there are any words that have similar sounds but different meanings that you can try to avoid. And then you can make a guess about what the answer probably is. So let's try that on these first 3 questions. So number 1, before we listen to anything, we can see cash and crash. Those sound similar but mean very different things. We also can see wait, waiter, water, and watch. These all have very similar sounds. So we can look here at these similar sounds and we can guess that C is probably our answer because C, cat, does not have any of these similar sounds when the other answers all do. Let's try the same thing with number 2. We can see sweater, sweating, sweater, and sweet. There's also feet, fat, and feel. So this one is a little harder than number 1 to guess the answer. But I can see that apple is the only answer that has only one of these similar sound words. The others have 2. So I can guess that apple is probably my answer. Finally, number 3. We see computer, communicates, company, and communities. These words all mean different things but have similar sounds. Dog is the only answer option that does not have one of these words in it. So we can guess that dog is probably our answer. So now we have guesses and we have probable answers for these questions before we even heard the audio. Now let's listen to the audio and see if our guesses were correct.
Number 1.
How long until you'll be ready to leave?
First, I need to water the grass.
What does the woman mean?
Just by avoiding similar sounds, we guessed that the answer was cat. And that is in fact the correct answer. There are no similar sounds, and the lawn is dry has the same meaning as I need to water the grass.
Number 2.
Do you think I should buy this sweater?
But it doesn't really seem to fit right.
What does the woman mean?
For number 2, we guessed that apple was the correct answer because it does not have as many of the similar sounds. And our guess was again correct. The sweater's the wrong size means the same thing as it, the sweater, doesn't really seem to fit right.
Number 3.
Is Walter's job near here?
Walter's been commuting to Boston on a regular basis.
What does the man say about Walter?
Once again, our guess is correct. Dog is the correct answer. There are no similar sounds, and it has the same meaning as what the second speaker said. Your assignment for today is to finish the rest of this activity. You should look through the answers and try to identify the similar sounds and then avoid those answers. You can make a guess about the probable answer before you even hear the audio if you follow this skill. As always, if you have any questions or if you need help, send me a message and I will help you. Good luck!